so we're starting this unit on verbals. Verbals are verb form used as another part of speech. Don't make me regret that.
No.
Okay, yeah. So, but they can't be just any part of speech. They're either going to be a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. Can you guys see that clearly?
Yes.
Okay, so there's 3 types. So here's what we're going to do. This is really going to be our last grammar unit for the entire 8th grade. So just savor it. Yeah. But it's also the most important as far as helping your writing. So we're going to do a mini unit on gerunds. Before Christmas, you're going to get a quiz. You'll come back from Christmas, we'll do a mini unit on participles. You'll have a quiz. So you're going to have 3 quizzes, maybe a test. We'll just see.
Will these go into like a
See what the new year holds.
I mean, will these go into like a second quarter grade or a third quarter grade? Like?
Second quarter. We're still in the second. We're in the second quarter until like middle of January. Okay, so here's our first type of verbal. Gerunds. I love the sound of that name. It's so nerdy. So, gerund is a verb plus ing used as a noun.
A what?
A verb plus ing used as a noun. Now, the reason I like gerunds is they're very contained. There's nothing really tricky about them. They have only one ending, which is an ing, and they're used as a noun. So one ending, one part of speech. That's why we're going to start with that. And I'm going to give you a handout about that in a minute. This is just the overview. But here's an example of a gerund, and I do want you to write the example down. Running is my favorite exercise. Did anybody in here swim yesterday? Do I have any swimmers? None.
In the summer.
Okay, they were in my other class. Okay.
I was strong once.
Okay, so swimming, all these, remember the definition of a noun is a word that names a person, place, thing, idea, or activity. That activity part is a gerund.
Verbal noun.
Okay? So, yeah, but we're going to call it a gerund. We're not going to call it a verbal noun.
Okay.
So it looks like a verb. Now, you remember how in your papers I say, hey, avoid words that end in ing? Because they're a drop-down box for, like, they can be a verb, they can be a noun, they can be a participle. This is one type of part of speech that they can be. Okay? Okay, so let's look at participles. John Carter, question?
No, Carter says this could be unit 6.
Yes.
Unit 6.
Okay, so participles. Oh, these are really, really mischievous. This is the hardest one. So this is a verb plus ed. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Or ing used as an adjective. Now, I put a little star here because you guys know when we were studying verbs, there's your regular verbs, like a regular participle verb ends in ed, but it could also end in what if it's irregular? T or in or something else. So if it's got an irregular verb ending, that's fine. But you've already learned the words participle, right? Remember past participle and present participle? So they can be used to form part of a verb, like your perfect and progressive, but they can also be used as adjectives. So participles can be a verb and a verbal.
That's in the barn.
Huh?
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, why does it say star or DN irregular verb?
Okay, so right here by ed, I put a little asterisk to say or an irregular verb ending. Like some irregular verb endings are T or in. Okay, and I'll point that out. Like right here, this is an irregular verb ending. The burnt toast. So burn is a verb. Burnt is a past participle, but it's being used as an adjective.
Why does it say the crying babies?
These are just phrases. They're not sentences.
The burnt toasted.
Oh gosh.
Nat, way to
Actually
edit
says
the
toast.
She
notes.
said, wait a minute.
The burnt, that's probably.
Wait, why did I not see that?
I don't know, because Nat is on it today. Okay.
Honestly, at first look, I thought some of the crying babies are burnt.
That's so disturbing, Alex.
Oh, what's
At
up?
first glance.
Don't even give me the image.
I'm
Okay,
just better working back here.
so crying, verb plus ing, it's used as an adjective to describe what? What's it describing, Leah? What's crying describing?
The babies.
The babies. And what is burnt describing, Becca?
The toast.
The toast. Okay? So you see that, they're participles, but they're not acting as verbs. Okay, so, and then our last one, our grand finale, which is maybe not the hardest. It's an infinitive, and you guys have had infinitives for a long time in Latin, so you know that an infinitive is 2 plus a verb.
Yeah.
But what you might not know is that it can be used as a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. So you're used to just seeing an infinitive as like part of, it's a form in Latin. But in English, it actually has different jobs that it can do. And I think this is a little bit tricky because it can be a noun, adjective, or adverb. So there's 3 examples there. Let's see if you can tell me. I love to swim. What part of speech is to swim?
Infinitive.
Present.
But is it acting as a noun, adjective, or adverb? So,
Verb.
It's a noun.
It's
what
a
kind of noun,
noun.
Josie? How did you know it's a noun?
Because like love is kind of like translated, like I love.
Love is a transitive verb, and to swim is the direct object. I love what? To swim. Okay, isn't that tricky? And then the next one, the person to call is Jeff. What is to call doing there? Aiden? What is to call? Is it acting as a noun, an adjective, or an adverb? Adjective describing what? Well, kind of, because Jeff's a predicate nominative, but it's describing the person. Okay, which person? The person to call. So that's an example of an adjective, and then Leah, on the last one, I can't wait to see. What part of speech would to see be?
I was gonna ask you a question, but
I think you know the answer to my question.
no.
Okay, anybody else know the answer to my question?
Wait, what was your question?
What part of speech is to see? Is it acting as a noun, adjective, or adverb?
Noun.
Adverb. Adverb.
Now?
Okay, Andrew has said correctly. It is acting as an adverb. And if you guys calculate things like if I've used noun and I've used adjective, chances are I'm going to do an adverb here. So I can't wait. Now again, you're going back to those adverb questions, and the question is a little bit tricky. In fact, I don't think it really clearly answers a question, but it comes right after the verb, and it's clearly not I can't wait what. I would say closest is I can't wait under what condition to see. So this is working as an adverb. You can see that infinitives get really tricky. Okay, Leah, your question.
I was gonna say, is to a preposition?
Yes.
So like, how do we know?
So that's an excellent question. How would you know if to is being used as a preposition or part of an infinitive, John Carter?
Is it because in the if it's used as a preposition, then it has to be a prepositional phrase, and a prepositional phrase consists of a certain types of nouns and verbs, as
You're very close. If it's a preposition, to is always followed by what part of speech? Object of the preposition, which is what? A noun. A noun. So it's to is a preposition if it's followed by a noun. If it's followed by a verb, it's an infinitive. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so questions about this. This is just overall. Isn't this fun? Okay. So now I'm going to give you another sheet. So that's like our bird's eye view. And if I were to ask you, which I probably will at some point, what are the 3 types of verbals?
participles, infinitives, journal.
Okay, so if you want to write at the bottom of that sheet, PIG, that's a nice acronym for verbals, participles, infinitives, gerunds. PIG.
If I were to spell Garen, I would spell like
I would not spell that. Yeah, well, it's spelled out, and then you're going to get another sheet. Okay, so you guys, just for reinforcement, this is verbals part 1. Why don't you go ahead and write the definition of a gerund? I know you just got it, so just for reinforcement, go ahead and write it on top of this. And then underline on the gerunds you see in the example.
Do you want us to give like the same definition that's on the back of it? Because on the back it says a gerund and then these words.
It's a gerund phrase. It's a gerund phrase. on the back.
There's that.
Okay, so we're just doing the front today, and you're writing the definition.
Is this our homework?
This front side is going to be your homework.
Ah.
Okay, but there's a couple things I need to describe to you, and I'm gonna. Okay, so what you're writing down a gerund. You're putting it on here. Ian, can you just say it out loud? You're writing it there from here. What is a gerund again, Ian?
Verb plus ing used as a noun.
Used as a noun. Okay, so you should memorize this. Now look at the example and underline what are the gerunds. Now here's the trick. It's not any ing word. It has to be used as a noun.
Singing.
Singing would be one. What would be another one?
Line.
What? Lying. Okay? Now in singing, Charlotte, in singing, what part of speech is singing?
That.
What? It's a noun, but what is, I'm sorry, you're correct. What job is it doing in the sentence? Is it acting as a direct object, subject, indirect object? It's the subject. Now for the second one, you might get in trouble for lying. Eli, what noun function is lying doing?
Yeah, which one?
Under the example, it says you might get in trouble for lying. So what is that? It's not the subject. What else might it be?
Is it object of the preposition?
It's object of the preposition. Okay? So let's look here. Right here, it tells you that gerunds perform any noun job. But that's not exactly true. It performs many noun jobs. So it can be a subject, it can be a direct object, indirect object, object of a preposition, predicate, nominative. Out there to the side, write down a positive. It can also be in a positive. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has 6 noun jobs that it can do. So a gerund is a noun, but it has 6 different jobs it can do, and that's important for identifying those jobs and for diagramming. So did you guys diagram gerunds last year?
I don't think so.
Okay. So let's just look at how to diagram them. I like them. This is where we get a little bit creative. Yes.
It's gonna be me.
No, it's me. 7.
Okay, Becca, you're gonna have to go. But okay, this is really important. You gotta know this. Here's how you're gonna diagram a gerund.
Oh no.
Is it predicate active or predicate nominative?
What the heck? Predicate nominative. Predicate nominative.
Yeah, but on the thing up there it says predicate active.
Oh, so you have the
No,
ing
it doesn't.
under it.
What is not a subject?
No, on your.
Oh, ignore that. Ignore that. Cross that out. Yeah.
I'm like, wait.
Miss Charters, is there such thing as an irritated eyelash?
Yeah, you can get an eyelash. Okay, back up.
Yes.
This is on the classroom,
Okay.
but make sure that you're diagramming these
1 through 7.
1 through 7.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys, can you just watch? This is how we're gonna do
Adios.
this one. So you're gonna put it on stilts like this. Yeah, I would write this down out to the side.
Oh, there's a bag. It's like a little stick.
So how do you do the stilts? So here's what I think is the easiest, and I'm not.
That's what I'm saying.
It does. It's fun. So what I do is I put the main verb on the first level, drop down and put ing on the second level, and then I do the stilt.
What if it's not a subject?
Well, I'm going to show you what to do there. So line is, and then activity is going to be, activities, we'll just diagram the skeleton of that. So singing is activity, okay? I'm just trying to show you how to diagram a gerund. Okay?
Why is this so confusing?
Let's do the next one. Wait, is it?
It's just weird.
It doesn't make any sense where the two legs come from.
Yeah, exactly. Why is that there?
What does that mean?
That's the way you do it.
You guys, that's, listen, it can be weird and not confusing. Let's clear up any confusion. All that stilt does and the two-step is show this is a gerund. And guess what? We've got another thing for infinitive and another thing for participle.
Wait,
So all it does is show us, hey, this is a special type of noun, it's a gerund. So anytime you see the steps, that's kind of a universal symbol. And why did they put them on two legs instead of one? I don't
Because
know.
they were just being
This
complicated.
is a philosophical question. Now,
Very
This is
philosophical.
how we're diagramming. Who created diagrams?
This is a pretty philosophical question that you like.
What's
We're calling you to answer this question.
okay, I am not prepared to answer the origin of gerunds, but do you understand how to diagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
So is that anytime you see a verb that should be a verb with a noun showing at the end?
But how is it really a noun? Because it's not really a noun.
Okay, it is a noun. It's the subject. It is. Who or what is this sentence about? It's about singing.
But then, like, if we're doing a regular sentence,
How is it not about you? How is it not about
singing.
But it's not telling you to sing. There's nothing prepared about it. It's saying that singing is my favorite activity. Okay, guys, I'm going to really blow your mind because now we're going to do it as a preposition. So, what's the subject of this sentence, Tracy? You might get into trouble for lying. You. What's the verb, Matt?
What's the verb?
In the second example, you might get in trouble for lying.
Lying.
What?
Lying.
No.
Mike.
Get up from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
That's
have
a bad word.
Bad word. Exactly. That's why I didn't
Bad
say it. It was bad
Yeah.
word.
That's why I didn't say it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't be thrown out the N word.
So, shh. It's only going to be very confusing if you talk through it. Okay, up here. So, in trouble, anybody want to take a stab about what is in trouble? Alex?
I think it's also, it's one of those, I forget the name of it, but it's like the verb that like has like the preposition in it, but like it's not like a preposition and object of preposition, but like, I forget the name of it, it's on the top of my head, but like it's like, it's get in trouble or.
It's a preposition. Tracy?
Yeah.
It's a prepositional phrase. Is it adverbial or adjectival? Dominic? In trouble. It's a prepositional phrase. Is it adjectival or adverbial? Okay, so two things. One is there any noun there for in trouble to modify? No. You might get, what? It doesn't really answer that. It answers more we're. You might get we're in a weird way. So we're going to say in trouble. And then we have another preposition for lying. And is that adjectival or adverbial? Hudson, is for lying adjectival or adverbial? Is it describing a noun or a verb? Okay, you can pass. Amelia?
Adverbial.
What's it? No.
Oh, I got it. Come on.
Okay, Andrew, go ahead.
Adjective.
Oh, well, good. Why is it adjectival? What's it describing? What kind of trouble? Remember your adjective questions are what kind, how many, which, who.
The in trouble.
How?
It's
How many?
specifics.
How much?
Okay, so just hold on. Here's what we're going to do. For, and then looking here. Okay, do you guys see that?
So basically, just do a statement wherever it goes in the sentence.
Right,
So like,
wherever a noun would go.
if you have like a direct object, like Mary loves running and
Whoa, that's
jumping,
really
then you
weird.
would just put
That's
a
a
rocket
real
ship
lie.
running and
Yes.
jumping, and then you put running and then
My
and
brain's
then
screwed up.
Exactly.
jumping.
Yeah. So you guys, the only thing, I would say this is hard, but it's, well, no, I wouldn't even say hard. It's different. It's different. And the way you're gonna learn this is by practicing. So what I'd like you to do, exercise A, you're gonna underline the gerunds in the following sentences. Indicate what is their noun job. Are they direct object, object of a
Do we put
preposition?
the DO in the,
You may use abbreviations.
yeah, do we just put them in the blanks for there?
Yes.
What if there's a sentence without one?
Okay, so you guys, it is possible that a sentence, listen, might not have a gerund. It might have a verb plus ing that's just a verb. So be careful that you tell what part of speech it is serving. So you're going to do this, and you're going to diagram the 7, and I was able to diagram mine like off to the side and at the bottom, but if you need to do it on another piece of paper, you can. Okay, so this is great. You guys have 20 minutes to do that, and during this time, I want you to turn in your sources.